Shane Dawson's 2016 short film, The Lottery, is based off of an essay from his best-selling book, It Gets Worse, a title I assume he chose so that it could double as a blanket warning printed at the top of each page. In what seems like an attempt to portray his tragic childhood with the grace of writers like Maya Angelou, Shane has managed to create a story that gets worse at every turn. Unfortunately, I mean that in sort of a technical sense, since the characters never grow and the plot never goes anywhere. Shane said, Maya Angelou, who? I can be like her, what shade of foundation does she wear? Despite having professional lighting and decorated name actress Missy Pyle in the cast, The Lottery still leaves a lot of aspects open to improvement. With its hard-to-believe premise, completely pointless characters, and the kind of gross-out humor that only a sewer rat could love. So join me for a self-congratulatory, urine-soaked adventure in another Shane Dawson installment of Clip Breakdown. Hello television viewers, my name is Nick. Thank you so much for joining me once again on my channel for another installment of Clip Breakdown. This is the playlist where we dive into our favorite movies, TV movies, and other web content and rip them apart like a roll of scratch tickets, baby. Hoping that we can win a jackpot with a good scene or a good line or some good movies, but I mean, I kind of intentionally choose bad stuff, so that's what we're gonna see today. Because you know Shane Dawson brings the garbage, mama. He's Mr. Garbage Man. Before we get into it, make sure you know that you should click thumbs up if you want to see even more Shane content like this. But most importantly, if you're new to my channel, I would love to have you click that subscribe button right down here. That way you never miss new videos from me. I upload 2 new ones every week, so turn on notifications and you'll always be the first to know when I've got a new scratch ticket to put in your Christmas stocking. Okay, also I've got merch available and a Patreon where you can access exclusive episodes and monthly watch parties. I will admit, from a technical standpoint, we have better filmmaking, I believe, in The Lottery than we did in the last 2 movies I've covered, I Hate My Selfie and I Hate My Selfie 2, where I felt the lighting was shoddy, the makeup was horrendous. A lot of that is better in this. However, I almost feel like the art direction is too sanitized for what he's trying to portray. This movie is about Shane's, how he would describe it, as growing up poor.
Most 11-year-olds were watching cartoons, and I was watching the Spanish channel because the coat hanger didn't feel like picking up Nickelodeon that day. But honestly, I was pretty invested, so it's fine.
I wish I could say the same thing about what I'm watching, but unfortunately, Shane just took me right out of it with another one of his sudden soft boy close-ups. At this point, I just expect Shane's short films to feel like an episode of Modern Family meets The Manson Family, but I will never understand why the background of his talking headshots always look like the community bulletin board at a Panera Bread. I guess he just feels bad that his story sucks, so he's giving us those out-of-focus community theater posters to read when we get bored.
What the hell were you thinking, Armando? You know Yolanda's a lesbian who only has 3 months to live.
One day, Shane heard the word lesbian and decided, I've done it. I've learned everything there is to know about comedy. And then there was a lightning strike, and like He-Man the Barbarian, he said, something about lesbians! I think all that cis queer men need to say to lesbians is thank you for being our allies, advocates, and caretakers while gay men were dying by the thousands during the AIDS epidemic. Show some respect to our lesbian siblings, Shane, and make fun of them in a way that's actually funny. Otherwise, you just look jealous because they can wear sleeveless shirts better than you. While Shane's watching TV, we meet the actress playing his mother, who you may recognize from TV, film, and maybe stage. Didn't look that far into it, but it's Missy Pyle. She was so great as the journalist in Gone Girl, but she's been in everything, tons of movies.
And Jesus came to me to dream, and he told me that we were gonna win the lottery and we were gonna get everything we ever asked for.
Wow, do you think you can ask Jesus to make me skinny?
Oh, well, honey, he's not a miracle worker.
Does that mean there's no hope for this Bride of Bozo wig either? If Shane is going to pay the SAG-AFTRA rates to waste this actress's talents in the movie, why can't he also get a hold of some hair that doesn't look shoplifted from Party City? I also feel like this joke has been bothering me since I first saw this short film. This was the first thing I saw of Shane Dawson's back in 2016. I remember the day because I was just starting out on YouTube. The joke isn't that funny. He's not a miracle worker. I think the point of the joke is because Jesus is a miracle worker, but it just doesn't even make sense with the mom's logic because she just said that Jesus worked a miracle by coming to her in a dream. I just feel like the jokes are always so lazy. And if the kid had been like, do you think Jesus can make me skinny? She could have been like, honey, Jesus works miracles. He doesn't work out on a treadmill for you. We are making fun of fat kids. At least it's a more successful joke. You have to admit it's a more successful joke. So anyway, Shane and his mom go to visit the liquor store to get the ticket.
Let's go to the liquor store by the church.
Ugh, the guy always calls me a little lady. When will people stop thinking I'm a girl?
I'm not sure that line really works with this casting, because if you put a tie on that child, he would look exactly like the nervous businessman from Britney Spears' Toxic music video. Also, what is with this royalty-free Christmas music? Are we waiting in line to see Mall Santa? I think Shane really felt background music stepped up the production value of his short films, even when the storyline was a bloated beach corpse. Well, you can't influence my mood with music alone, Shane. I'm not an in utero fetus, no matter how slimy it gets where I sleep. In fact, in other Shane Dawson movies, we had him talking about how he felt he looked feminine when he was overweight, he looked androgynous when he was overweight. It's not something he's been able to capture in any of his casting or in other movies like a makeup effect.
She pinched my cheek, I pinched my inner thigh. It's like cutting for people who don't like blood. You should try it.
I think I'll just try pinching that nerve in my neck that's supposed to cause fainting, because I'm getting off at this stop. What Shane said wasn't even a joke. He was just earnestly recommending self-harm techniques to young people, like the demon of some junior high bathroom stall. Whatever one was lurking around those halls of Degrassi Junior High, because those kids were never cool. Always going off the handle about something. The mom and Shane get to the liquor store. What's going on? I have no barber out in Palm Springs. If you know a barber in Palm Springs, drop your recommendations below. It's officially easier for me to say that out loud on camera than Googling something or looking it up on Yelp. I don't make the rules.
I'm so sorry. Excuse me. Is this the line for the lottery tickets?
There was only one line in the whole store, Raggedy Ann. There's nothing that makes my whole body seize with tension faster than when an extroverted person gets in line behind me at some store. The last thing I need is some substitute teacher who took improv trying to turn everyone at the UPS counter into Mouseketeers. This isn't a hootenanny. I'm not trying to enjoy my time with you. In fact, I'm here to pick up that bear repellent I ordered out of my P.O. box that I bought specifically for people like you. It bothers me that it doesn't even make sense for the character to be asking this question. It was just a cheap opportunity for some added dialogue.
What did you think it was? A line for pretzel dogs?
Honestly, I wouldn't be surprised. The new Fiesta Blast flavor is kind of revolutionary. Try dipping it in the cheese from the nacho station. It really changes the game.
Wow. The employees here sure have gotten a lot more helpful. Thanks, ma'am.
I went to go check the pulse on this joke, but it was just a pile of bloody pulp and bone fragments from being stomped into the ground so hard. So maybe it's safe now to move on to some actual story progression? Nothing bothers me more than pointless interactions in a movie. Every character, every scene, and every line should really be moving the plot forward, especially in a 16-minute movie. The only reason you might step outside the plot in a comedy is for jokes, but they have to be funny. But even those jokes ideally should still be integral to us learning about the character or the story. What does young Shane being a connoisseur of gas station hot dogs tell me, other than he has diarrhea regularly? This would be a great opportunity to raise the stakes, let us know how impoverished Shane's family is, and why the mom needs this lottery ticket, or why she's hoping for this lottery win so much. For instance, maybe this is her last money that she was gonna put towards the power bill, but you know, they were gonna hook the TV up to a car battery and you know, they could watch the lottery reading in the dark. And that would show how like it's really desperate. They have to eat dinner in the dark, they have to watch TV in the dark, and like they need this lottery money because they can't even pay their bills. Is the mom like really busy with her jobs? They don't tell me anything about what she does for a living, so I might think she's just a stay-at-home mom. They seem reasonably well dressed. He was eating, he's in a nice house. Like they don't seem very impoverished to me in the way that you would hope a movie would portray it, so that you can get it right off the bat. So imagine how much more effective this would be if we knew that this was her last few dollars going towards buying a bunch of lottery tickets to improve her chance of winning. Or maybe when Shane was driving in the car with the mom, he looked down and saw like the overdue bills, and I think I knew what kind of stress was causing her to have this dream about winning the lottery. But I was too afraid to tell her that it might not really be an angel. That's the other thing that's annoying. This whole time she's like, an angel told me we're gonna win the lottery. And young Shane seems to be like, really? We're gonna win? That doesn't help me understand whether he's like an independent free thinker who could see beyond what the mom was doing and just kind of felt bad and was going along with it. Like we don't get any of that insight. So it just feels like two imbeciles kind of walking around. And on that note, let's keep watching.
We're gonna win today, God told me.
Oh, really? That's exactly what he said.
I caught a really nasty head cold while working on this video over the weekend, and after tracing it back, I am pretty sure it was when I saw this shot that my immune system gave up. My white blood cells packed their bags. They said, "Good luck for Pride Month, Queen. Make sure you take your prep." Not only is the action on screen disgusting, but you can always count on Shane to try and make a punchline out of people without housing or with signs of serious mental illness, which, I mean, must be easy for him since despite him complaining about how poor he was because he didn't have Nickelodeon as a child, this movie at least shows that he had food, shelter, a loving mom, and a decent amount of privilege. Your movie doesn't make me feel bad for you, Shane. It just makes me feel bad in a general way. Luckily, that's something I can live with because I plan to monetize this video. After buying the lottery tickets, Shane's mom decides they're gonna go drive through the fancy neighborhood.
Oh, an open house. And it's in a good neighborhood. I don't see any bars on the windows.
Then how do they keep out the crack whores and
The wives are the crack whores, but the crack is really prescription drugs. And the husbands are the because the wives always say no.
It's official. This is my least favorite version of Jingle Bells that I've ever heard. Shane's edgy observations on society are always so overwrought. If you've got an obnoxious point to make, at least be succinct about it, like those bumper stickers you'd read in the parking lot for a 21 Pilots concert. I'm also not impressed by these dolly shots of the camera zooming down the street looking at these houses. You can tell that someone's just hand-holding the camera in the window, and it's kind of, you know, jarring compared to the other shots where it's on a tripod. Also, I don't know why Shane's cinematographer never seems to be changing the lens properly. Like, you would want a wider lens for some of these shots. The fisheye thing is just always bugging me out on these. Maybe they only had a kit lens for the camera, the standard lens, and they didn't have a lens kit. I don't know, it doesn't matter. Clearly, making a movie is a complicated process, but making dinner doesn't have to be. With the sponsors of today's video, Every Plate. Every Plate is seriously my favorite meal delivery service. Every Plate makes home cooking easy and delicious and way more affordable than getting takeout. And these meals are 50% cheaper than meals made from grocery store ingredients. So I'm saving money for summer, baby. If you don't watch me whip up these roasted bell pepper flatbreads and sit in amazement at my chef skills, then I don't know who you think you're looking at. With most meals coming together in 30 minutes or less, I love to be able to spend more time outside now that the days are getting longer. I sent a picture of these to my friends and they said, "Oh, so you're a chef now out there in Palm Springs. We're gonna be getting meals when we come visit." I've tried other meal kits in the past, but they were always prohibitively expensive. And I love that Every Plate gives you the same delicious food for a much better value. Try Every Plate for just $1.99 per meal, plus an additional 20% off your next 2 boxes when you go to everyplate.com and use code NickDiRamio199. That's up to a $100 value, baby. Now that our stomachs are full, let's get back to this nonsense.
maybe we shouldn't go in. What if they can tell we're poor?
In 8 hours, once those winning numbers are announced, no one will ever think we are poor again.
Or even if you just spray a little dry shampoo on that little Orphan Annie wig, that might help too. Also, this line feels hollow because we haven't seen anyone outside of the house to look down on them for being poor yet. The only consequence of his family's socioeconomic status that he's been able to describe so far is having a thrift store couch and no cable television. So it's not exactly reading Oliver Twist. This is not Charles Dickens. This is Daryl's Chickens. It was the worst of times, it was the worst of times. And oh, it was such a bad time. So Shane and his mom enter this open house at a fancy mansion, and obviously they kind of outclass themselves right away by being like, "We are super rich." So they try to show this realtor being like, "Oh, this is not a sale."
Oh, fuck me.
Did the screen direction ask her to clomp out of the frame like a Clydesdale? She looks like she just stepped over someone's dead body on the ground. This is not uncommon either. A lot of times there are wires and boxes and things on the ground that actors would have to step over, but if your actor can't leave the frame naturally, I would probably switch to a close-up there or otherwise reframe the shot. That's why you gotta get coverage, folks. That's why you gotta get coverage. Cover my body. Cover my body with your camera lens. The lights are flashing and we're going in. The shot is tight, but the frame is wide. Let's see what develops with the film inside. Everybody loves the coverage. That was an original song by me, Nicholas Madonna DiRamio. She's my grandmother. Okay, so that night at dinner, we meet the rest of Shane's family. Could have probably introduced them a little earlier, just because. You might as well. There's only 4 characters. Let's set them up at the beginning. Shane could have used that moment where the mom was talking to that random guy at the store to kind of establish the family's beliefs around this. How do they feel about the mom's sign from God? How gullible are they? But anyway, they all seem to believe it. Shane's like, I'm gonna get a new couch. And the brother's like, oh, and Mom, you can build me a whole skate park.
What about a ramp in my room? I might break my neck, but who cares? I can buy a new one.
Wait, you can buy a new neck?
Well, yeah, you can buy anything if you're rich.
How about new legs?
Anything, yeah.
Ooh, yes, that scene came to a very natural stopping point, like a search party when the missing person is found dead. I just know Shane scripted, and then Grandma gives a big hilarious grin, and thought that that would just be enough to end this scene, but it is uncomfortable. In order to direct this scene so it didn't feel like a murder suspect interrogation, I would have encouraged more interaction and improvisation between the family members, especially in that wide shot, because then you can use that coverage to bridge those gaps between these close-ups where you need people to stick to the script a little bit more. Shane literally didn't give the grandmother anything else to do, so she just holds that smile for the rest of the scene, looking exactly like a lawn ornament of a Halloween witch. And again, Shane never bothers to help us understand why these other members of the family seem like reasonable adults buy into this notion that just because the mom's had a dream about it, they're gonna suddenly win the lottery. Like, is this something the mom does often? Can someone give me like, oh my God, Mom, not another sign from God? Like when you thought that when you crashed the Buick, it was because we were gonna be given a Mercedes from the guy down the street whose dick you sucked. You know, like, give me some context, make it funny, but also tell me about the thing. Ooh, I'm bouncing back from that cold big. You can tell from my arm movements. They're busting out, Daddy. Butterfly, chrysalis. Like, has she made these predictions before? Has she been right in the past? That would be cool too if they were like, well, you were right that time you said that we were gonna get this house and then Grandpa died of a heart attack, so we inherited it. You know, that would still be in line with Shane's stupid humor. It's finally time for the numbers to be announced.
The first number is 24.
Wait, we don't have 24.
My mom didn't even hear him. She was so focused on her prayer that the only thing she heard was the sound of her own voice asking God for a miracle.
Uh-oh, voiceover Shane has switched into his soft, empathetic voice now. That's gonna be our only cue to feel sad here, since the storytelling is ineffective. I hate that it sounds exactly like the voice my freshman year of college boyfriend used to use when he would read me his poetry. Of the waves and the shore drift further from where my feet are, and when I look up at the sky, I notice it's blue. Saying it's soccer doesn't make it sound thoughtful. It just makes me want to jab you in the throat a little bit. So Shane's mom was wrong. We're losing the lottery. My whole world is destroyed, even though I think we all kind of knew this was going to happen.
3.
There goes our nice couch.
15.
There goes my skate park.
Well, it's not like you once had those things and now you're losing them. You just all got your hopes up because apparently everyone in this house just finished the 2nd grade. There were literally no stakes attached to the family winning this multi-million-dollar prize money. And those usually have the stakes built right in. That's why they're called sweepstakes. How many times have we seen things where the situation is like, oh no, we need $10,000 to save the store. Oh look, we have this talent competition and the prize is $10,000. The reason that's so effective is because the audience instantly understands what the characters' motivations are. We know what their problem is, the conflict, what they have to do to solve it, and then what's at risk if they fail. That's the stakes. Because Shane just completely ignored that last part, the whole thing, it doesn't matter. We don't care whether he wins or loses. They just go back to living the life that he already had, where he was eating cereal on the couch. What happens if they don't win the lottery? Do they lose the house? Can they not afford grandma's surgery? Even biographical stories find ways to build this type of conflict into the true events. Otherwise, it all feels pointless. Like, what did we learn? Where did you grow from that? This sounds awful, but I would have loved it if the grandma had a terminal illness, that they were like, we can keep her alive a little longer with this surgery, or if we had better medication, and she's like, oi, oh, I don't know what she would say. I just wanted to make some noises, I guess. Or, like I said, the power not being out, but I love the like, oh, we're gonna lose the house, or like, the house is falling apart. Like, we didn't sell any of what's so bad about their current situation, to the point where I feel like the art direction is way too clean and sanitized for this. Shane almost wanted to make this feel like a wholesome family film, but he didn't give us any of the grit or the dirt that would be necessary to make me understand the depth of his situation that he's in.
This is ridiculous. What a waste of time.
Me reviewing any movie ever on this channel.
I didn't think that dream my mom had was bullshit. I just think maybe she interpreted it wrong.
No, I think you interpreted it wrong because you're the one who adapted it into this poorly written story. I also really feel like Shane's trying to give the impression that he's holding back tears here, but I don't buy that any more than I buy the $12 slime from his merch store. I have all the slime I need right in this pussy, mama, from my melting suppository. This is where Shane gets into how special and unique and what a creative genius he is.
Over the next 10 years, I put all my energy into my passion, which was making videos. Even though they were pretty insane and sometimes incredibly offensive, my mom still believed in me.
But she had no other feedback on the incredibly offensive ones? What a demented little family this is. I just wish I could go back in time and grab that mom by the shoulders and say, quick, teach him the historical context of blackface before he gets internet in his room. No, we're too late.
And then years later, when YouTube came around, I started posting them there. And more than just my family was seeing my weird creations. It was anybody who wanted to.
I don't remember ever wanting to see your work. They were just the only videos that YouTube recommended from 2012 to 2016. Like, I promise I wasn't searching for people who are tasting every menu item at Baskin Robbins. That's kind of what I feel like this movie misses. Like, so much of Shane's career on YouTube was, let's face it, luck, because his work was never super high quality. Anybody who was doing something similar that kind of got the algorithmic advantage probably would have been propelled to equal levels of height, but maybe in a more responsible way, if they were making the same kind of wacky, shareable, crazy skits, like the all that type stuff, but actually safe for advertisers. He was lucky in the sense that the advertising policies were way different back then, and all of this was, you know, easily monetized, and YouTube kind of is okay with keeping it that way, since it's already amassed so much profit for them. Ooh, let me just not talk about the YouTube gods real quick. Who said it? Shh. Anyway, this is where Shane shows, you know, some of that A1 top quality work that millions of people watch.
You do? My name is Shanae. I am addicted to LSD, weed, speed, ecstasy, and anal sex.
I mean, I guess now we know Shanae didn't feel any less racially insensitive from behind. Like, I don't think the problem was ever that we weren't seeing 360 degrees of this character's head. And while the back of the head wig stuff there is bad, what really sends me is his floppy haired wig that he did when he was showing his progress as a YouTuber. The way he branded that hair for himself makes me cringe. So now Shane gets to finally surprise his mom in present day with something she always wanted.
My heart can't take it.
Welcome home.
Ugh, I do not like seeing Shane's fake crying voice that he does in his apology videos up next to a professional actor. It's like when they put an NBA player in an episode of a kid's TV show and they're like, hey, you kids can really play ball.
I don't think God was lying to my mom that day when he told her she was going to win the lottery. I think he just didn't tell her when it was going to happen.
This explains all of that public domain holiday music we got for the rest of the movie. Shane blew the music licensing budget on Send Me On My Way by Rusted Root, aka the song that plays at the end of Matilda. You can't manipulate me into thinking I've seen something meaningful just by stealing the soundtrack of a better movie. And I'm so sick of narration, this is the first time I thought I would ever long to hear the voice of Danny DeVito.
And as bad as things were before, that's how good they became.
I also love how the end of this is basically Shane being like, my mom thought she was gonna win the lottery, and she did, by having me to pay for her house. Like, okay. I mean, in one sense, yes, you did win the lottery by making millions of dollars on YouTube with content that had no business being seen by so many millions of people. You know, in another sense, I don't think he's really selling the whole meaning of this movie. Like, what are you saying? Your mom was sad, now she's happy because you made yourself rich? Cool. Congratulations. I'm not sure what sort of inspiration we're supposed to derive from that. It really is kind of like, to me, the epitome of a narcissistic kind of vanity project, right? Like, you're just trying to tout your success throughout your career, show off some of your career highlights, and put a big budget behind something that's all about you. Okay. Let's see what he talks about in the bloopers.
Make sure to subscribe to my channel right down below because I make new short films and sketches all the time. That's a lie. I make them every year, like once. They're very expensive, and this is costing a lot of money.
Well, then I guess Dolly Parton was right. It costs a lot of money to look this cheap. I love how Shane had to include this in the blooper reel just to make sure his young audience felt bad that he was spending his own money on his own art, as though the whole thing was not also a huge tax write-off for him. And I know that for a fact because my grandfather's name was Darwin TurboTax III, so I know a write-off when I see one, mama. This film pisses me right off. Hi! Thank you guys for watching another Shane Dawson clip breakdown. What did you think of this one, the lottery? Did it inspire flatter you? Do you feel like you get it? I don't. Let me know what other content I should cover in future episodes of Clip Breakdown. Don't forget to give this video a big thumbs up if you want to see even more episodes like this on Shane stuff. But most importantly, if you're new to my channel, I would love to have you click that subscribe button right down here. That way you never miss new videos from me. I upload 2 new ones every week. Turn on notifications, that way you'll always be the first to know when I'm serving up a fresh lottery ticket. We're so close to 200,000 subscribers in the DiRamio Club, baby. So we might already be there by the time this video goes live, in which case, thank you so much. You guys are the greatest, and I'm so excited to grow even more and have even more laughs with you all. Don't forget, I also have merch available and a Patreon where you can access exclusive bonus episodes and virtual watch parties every month. You guys are all the greatest. Thank you for winning the lottery with me today. I will see you next time. Boom!